Today, we are traveling just west of Durant, which is in southern Oklahoma, less than a 2-hour drive from the Dallas area. This is Fort Washita. This site witnessed frontier life and the Civil War. The admission is free, and the grounds and the ruins are kept up and preserved beautifully. Welcome to our tour by Travel with the Hales. This fort was established in 1842, and it was originally built by the U.S. Army to protect the Chickasaw and Choctaw Nations after their forced removal to Indian Territory. At that time, the frontier was a dangerous place, and threats from rival tribes and conflicts brewed along the Texas border. Make sure you stop by this main museum and kind of office when you first enter. The employees or volunteers there are a wealth of information, and they're very well educated about the history of the area. So when the Civil War erupted in 1861, the Union troops abandoned the fort. Soon after, the Confederate forces took over, and the fort became the stronghold in the Indian Territory. It served as a supply depot, a hospital, a base for Confederate operations. But by the war's end, the fort was abandoned and left to time. This is the West Barracks. Isn't this cool? This is where the enlisted men stayed, featuring bunk rooms upstairs and a mess hall downstairs. After the Civil War, the Colbert family used this place as their home until it burnt in 1917. What you're looking at here was once a foundation of a building that once stood. Can you imagine soldiers patrolling these grounds? Back then, it wasn't just a military post, it was a bustling community. Officers and their families lived here. Merchants set up shops, and travelers stopped on their journeys across the West. The fort became a hub of life at the edge of the frontier. So what you're seeing also are beautiful stone chimneys and partial walls. These stand like silent witnesses to everything the fort has seen. I wish the walls could talk. The Chickasaw Nation has worked hard to preserve this site, and inside the visitor center you'll find artifacts, maps, and stories that bring everything to life. This 2-room log cabin was the residence of Douglas H. Cooper, Chickasaw and Choctaw Indian agent in the 1850s. a friend of the Confederate President Jefferson Davis, and he was appointed colonel of the Chickasaw and Choctaw Regiment and later served as a brigadier general. He died in 1879 and he was buried on the fort's grounds. Within this white fence are 200 Confederate unknown and unmarked graves. Now there are a few headstones, and what got me puzzled was the coins on the headstones. Well, come to find out, a penny means a visitor has come to pay respects to the deceased. A nickel means the visitor and the deceased served together at boot camp. A dime means a visitor and the deceased served together at some point. And a quarter means the visitor was present when the service member died. Now, this fort isn't just about military history. The grounds themselves are peaceful and almost serene. There's walking trails shaded by tall trees. There's a small cemetery where soldiers and settlers are laid to rest. Standing here, you feel the weight of history and the calm beauty. We are definitely coming back to this place. Why, you may ask? Well, we missed out on a few things. Several times a year, they host history events, such as reenactments, demonstrations, and cultural celebrations. So if you plan your visit during one of these weekends, you'll hear musket fire and see period costumes. Now, we were the only people there. We were there on Thursday afternoon, and we did have the whole place to ourselves, which was nice. But I definitely would love to see a reenactment. If you love early American history, or if you just love taking unique day trips, this place is definitely worth the drive. It's a great place to take your family, and also if you're just looking for a quiet place with powerful stories, this place is worth the visit. Right here, you're going to see a playlist of all different places you can go venture out to from Dallas, Fort Worth. And these are mostly all day trips, and majority of them are free. So go ahead and get out of the house, pack your family up or take your friends and take that day trip. There is so much to explore in this area. Thank you so very much for watching Travel with the Hales. We would be most honored if you would like, share, and comment on our videos. Until next time, happy travels!